They stand like ancient oaks in the storm, unshaken, roots deep, branches wide enough to shelter others. The world leans on them, calls them pillars, asks for strength they never refuse to give. Yet beneath the bark, sap bleeds unseen. Their shoulders carry loads no one measures, their smiles mask cracks no one traces. They are the ones who listen at 3 a.m., who fix the broken, who say, "I'm fine," when their own world tilts. Strength, for them, is not a choice but a sentence, a role they inherited, a crown too heavy to remove without guilt. To falter would be betrayal, to weep would be collapse. So they armor themselves in silence, stitching exhaustion into composure, swallowing screams until they taste like routine. The pain they hide is not loud, it is tectonic, slow, grinding, reshaping the landscape of their soul while the surface remains serene. They fear that if they speak the weight, the oak will splinter, and those who shelter beneath will be left exposed. So they endure, not out of pride, but out of love warped into duty, out of terror that their breaking would break others. Inside, the storm rages. Memories of every time they were needed echo like thunder. Each "you've got this" from the world is another stone on their chest. They learn to breathe shallowly, to smile convincingly, to disappear into the role of the unbreakable. But strength is not the absence of fracture. It is the art of holding the pieces so tightly that no one sees the seams. And in the quiet hours, when the sheltering is done, they sit alone with the tremor in their hands, the ache behind their eyes, the unspoken plea. "See me see that I, too, am human." The tragedy is not that they hurt, it is that they hurt in perfect camouflage. Their pain is a ghost wearing their own face, haunting the space between what they give and what they need. They are the strong ones. Yes, but strength is a lonely country, and its citizens learn to suffer in a language no one else speaks. Long before the world crowned them strong, they were children who discovered that tears invited chaos. A parent's collapse, a sibling's crisis, a home that trembled. Weakness was not permitted. It was a crack through which everything might fall. So they became the glue, the calm voice, the small hands that steadied larger storms. They learned that to be needed was to be safe, that to falter was to risk abandonment. Strength became currency, silence became survival. By adolescence, the lesson calcified. If I break, no one catches me. They watched others crumble and be comforted, while their own fractures were met with, "You'll manage." The message was clear: reliability earns love. Fragility forfeits it. So they built fortresses of competence, walls papered with achievements, doors locked from the inside. Vulnerability was exiled to the attic of the soul, visited only in nightmares. Adulthood merely widened the stage. Colleagues leaned, friends unloaded, lovers assumed. Each expectation was another brick, mortared with gratitude they dared not refuse. They became fluent in the dialect of endurance, masters of the half-truth. "I'm okay." But every fortress has a cost. The air inside grows thin, the light dims, and the child who once needed holding learns to forget they ever did. The irony is cruel. They who mend everyone else have no one to mend them. Their pain is not dramatic. It is the slow erosion of a cliff that never cries out. They do not collapse in spectacle. They erode in private, grain by grain, until one day the ocean of their own sorrow threatens to swallow the shore they've spent a lifetime protecting. And still they smile, because to do otherwise would be to admit the lesson was wrong. That weakness might not destroy, but strength, carried alone, just might. When they say nothing, the world hears absence. When they withdraw, the world sees coldness. But their silence is not neglect. It is the only love they know how to give without breaking. To speak their pain would be to hand you a burden they believe you cannot carry. To ask for help would be to risk the fragile ecosystem where you lean on them, not they on you. So, they offer the gift of space, the mercy of not making you witness their unraveling. Watch closely, their silence is stitched with care. The late-night text they never send is restraint, not rejection. The canceled plan is protection, not apathy. They disappear into themselves the way a lighthouse dims its beam in fog, not to abandon ships, but to keep from blinding them. Their love is the art of subtraction, removing their chaos so your world stays steady. Yet this love is a double-edged blade. It saves you from their storm, but starves them of communion. They become archivists of their own sorrow, filing every ache in drawers labeled later. The heart, denied witness, learns to speak only to mirrors. And mirrors, cruelly, reflect without embracing. One day, the archive overflows. A tremor in the voice, a too long pause, a stare that lingers on nothing. These are the love notes they cannot suppress. If you learn their dialect, you will hear the plea beneath the quiet. I am drowning in the role of rescuer. Throw me a line, but pretend it's for you. Their silence begs to be translated, to be met with a gentleness that says, your pain does not disqualify your strength, it humanizes it. No tree endures forever. Even the mightiest oak, struck by lightning or hollowed by rot, will one day fall. For the always strong, the splintering is rarely public. It happens in the shower where water hides tears, in the car where music drowns sobs, in the 2 a.m. kitchen where a single plate feels like a banquet of loneliness. The break is not a crash, it is a whisper, I can't. The world is shocked. They ask as if strength were a perpetual spring. But the strong have been leaking for years, through clenched jaws, through sleepless eyes, through the slow erosion of joy. The moment of collapse is not weakness, it is physics. A vessel can hold only so much before it overflows or shatters. In that fracture, something sacred occurs. The armor falls away, and for the first time, they are seen not as function but as flesh. The tragedy is that it often takes catastrophe for tenderness to arrive. A diagnosis, a breakdown, a loss too heavy to carry alone. Only then do hands reach back. The strong learn, too late, that asking is not theft, it is reciprocity. Yet even in ruin, they try to rebuild quickly, mortified by their own fragility. Don't worry, I'm fine, they say, sweeping shards into corners. But the wisest among us kneel in the debris and say, let me hold a piece. The oak does not need to stand alone to be mighty. Sometimes its greatest strength is in allowing the forest to hold it upright. To love the always strong is to learn the grammar of restraint. Do not pry, invite. Do not fix, witness. Offer your weakness first, not as bait, but as proof that fragility is not contagion but communion. Say, I cried today, and watch their shoulders soften. Share your tremor, and their silence may finally speak. Create sanctuaries of non-demand. A walk without agenda, a meal without counsel, a night where being is enough. Let your presence be a hearth, not a hammer. The strong have been cold for so long they've forgotten warmth is possible without cost. When they falter, and they will, do not celebrate the crack, cradle it. Say, your breaking does not diminish you. It deepens the space where I can meet you. Teach them, slowly, that strength is not a solo act but a duet. And if they vanish into themselves, do not chase with noise. Leave a light on, a text unsent but saved, a door unlatched, a silence that says, I am here when you are ready to be human. The oak will not fall toward you unless it trusts the ground is soft. In the end, the greatest gift you can give the unbreakable is permission to rest, to weep, to need. Love them not until they are strong again, but until they believe strength and softness can share the same root system. For only then will the oak learn that it was never meant to stand alone. that a forest is not a collection of solitary trees, but a conspiracy of roots holding one another upright beneath the earth.